Hey everyone, Frank with the Hermes Insurance Group. How about that election last night, huh? There's a lot of people scratching their heads this morning. So last night, I'm watching one of the mainstream media channels. I was flicking around all the different coverages. Anyway, this Democratic pundit comes on, and he refers to people in the government, elected officials, as the ruling class. We're the ruling class. They're not the ruling class. We put them there. Anyway, so that got me thinking about the founding of the United States and the intent of our founding fathers when it came to the government. And yeah, government in general, but also its role in our lives. They didn't fight a war of independence to replace one type of tyranny with another. They fought it to get away from tyranny. Don't forget, they wanted George Washington to be king. He, of course, refused, saying that to do so would violate the conscience and principles of the very freedom for which so many had fought and died. He not only understood the intent and will of the people, but understood that absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. He remained a man of principle even when tempted with the prospect of becoming the head of a new ruling class. Fast forward 240 years to last night's presidential election. When you look at the big picture, this was far less about who would do a better job, and it wasn't even really about who was going to be the lesser of two evils. It was, however, a notice to those in public office that we put them in, that they are not a ruling class. We, the people, are the ruling class. To that effect, I wrote the following social media post this morning and put it on one of those social media sites. So I'm going to read that to you real quick. Dear elected officials of the United States of America, you have been put on notice. You have just been reminded that you do not rule over us. You work for us. You are not the boss. We, the people, are the boss. Republican or Democrat, Libertarian or Socialist, you are on notice. You will remember that this is a representative government by, of, and for the people. You work for us. Sidetracked, sorry. You are not the boss. And will return to a government that actually represents the will of the people in your representative districts. You will do this, or you will be fired. And that's really kind of what last night's election was about. We fired the status quo. It's a beautiful thing about America is we get to have a revolution every 4 years. We get to cast off government that we do not feel is fit for our country. I am very proud to say that my youngest son did just that last night, and he voted in his very first election. I'm even more proud to say that he didn't vote one way or another because someone told him to, or that because he got a card in the mail telling him how to vote. None of that. He did his due diligence. He sat down. He studied. He read what was going to be on the ballot, and then he made a decision that was good for his conscience. He made a statement that really hit home with me. By the way, I'm about to be a grandpa, probably about 3 weeks away. He made a statement that this was far more important than he ever realized. Not because of who might be in office, but the direction the country may take based on his votes. That's a big deal. I'm really proud to say that both my sons are men of principle. They're men of character. They do that same thing every election. They sit down and they get to know the issues. And then they make up their mind based on what's right for them. That's pretty awesome. And I'm proud to say that they learned that from my wife and I. And guess what? I learned it from my parents too. I've got a lot of respect for those kids. My daughter, she'll be the same way. You know what? We aren't always going to agree. There's going to be times where we differ in opinion greatly. But you know what? I'm going to respect them for their decisions, and I'm going to respect their right to have a different opinion. Maybe it's time as a country we all learn that same lesson. This is Frank with the Hermes Insurance Group. You guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. One more message, though. Mr. President-elect, this message is for you. Sir, you've been given the office. Please do something great with it. We're counting on you. Have a great week. This is Frank with the Hermes Insurance Group.